Reports are stating that Spurs are interested in former Chelsea captain Conor Gallagher, but if we want to sign him on loan from Atletico Madrid, Spurs may have to pay up to £200,000 a week. Thomas Frank has said that the club must become a better selling club. Brennan Johnson will not be part of Thomas Frank's squad against Brentford this evening at the G-Tech Community Stadium, as Johnson has gone off to talk to Crystal Palace boss Oliver Glasner about a £35 million move to Selhurst Park. Manor Solomon to Fiorentina. Fabrizio Romano has stated, "Here we go." And Jamie Donley has returned from Stoke City from a loan spell. Hi everyone, hope you're well. Happy New Year to you. Chris Cowlin here. This is another edition of Tottenham News, where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Now let's start by saying the January transfer window is now officially open. It will be open until the 2nd of Feb, 7 p.m. UK time. Now Thomas Frank, in his embargoed press conference ahead of the Brentford game, which takes place this evening, he has been talking about Spurs being a better selling club. He said, "I think selling well is key. I think that is one thing you need to do right, and then get the team playing in a certain way and get the right culture, train in the right way. There are a lot of elements that need to do well before we are able to compete at the highest level. Part of it, of course, is also to be able to sell well. You can see other top clubs, they are quite good at selling, so that is something we need to improve on. That is something I know the guys above me are working very hard on, so everything is linked." Now let's go to a report from Team Talk. They are stating that Conor Gallagher's loan move potential could depend on how much Atletico Madrid are willing to continue to pay towards his wages, with Spurs and Manchester United among the clubs linked to the former Chelsea midfielder. Gallagher is allowed to leave the Spanish club if he can find an agreement that will suit all parties. The report from Team Talk then goes on to say he has wanted to fight for his place as he wants to be a success in Spain, but he has to be open-minded now with the transfer window open. Sources have indicated, though, that the player's high wages means that a loan switch is not straightforward. It is thought that any club looking to sign him will want a loan with an option to buy in the summer, and Gallagher currently earns up to £200,000 per week. Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has stated that Brennan Johnson will not be in Tottenham's squad to face Brentford at the G-Tech Community Stadium this evening in the Premier League, 8 p.m. kickoff, as he is talking to Crystal Palace. BBC Sport on this story, they are stating that Brennan Johnson will meet Palace boss Oliver Glasner on Thursday before making a final decision on whether to complete a £35 million move from Spurs. If talks are successful, Johnson is expected to sign for Palace in the coming days. He is the Eagles' number one target for the January transfer window, and the club have been keen on completing this deal early. TalkSport have just stated that Spurs are getting ready for a fresh swoop for Manchester City winger Savinho. Spurs were rebuffed by City when they tried to sign the Brazilian star last summer, although the player was keen on a move to North London. The Europa League holders are hoping that the pending arrival of Bournemouth star Antoine Semenyo will change Manchester City's stance. Now for a short official statement released by Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, Jamie Donley has been recalled from his loan at Stoke City. The 20-year-old versatile midfielder moved to the Championship outfit on the 6th of August and provided an assist on his debut in their opening 3-1 win over Derby County 3 days later. Jamie departs the Potters having made 6 appearances in all competitions, 4 in the league and 2 in the Carabao Cup. The Daily Express have stated there may be 6 players that may never ever play for Tottenham Hotspur again. Brennan Johnson, Yves Bissouma, Dane Scarlett, Mikey Moore, Manor Solomon and Alfie Devine. And talking of Manor Solomon, Fabrizio Romano has stated, here we go, exclusive. Fiorentina reach verbal agreement to sign Manor Solomon. Here we go. The winger is set to leave Villarreal with loan move to be interrupted and new transfer to Fiorentina from Tottenham. Deal agreed today. Fabrizio Romano then went on to say Fiorentina will have an option to buy at the end of this season. Various reports in Italy are stating that Fabio Paratici, Tottenham's sporting director, is expected to leave Tottenham in the first week of the January transfer window. His exit, though, is not seen as him rushing out of the door, more of a soft exit from the football club. Fabrizio Romano on this story, he is stating that Fabio Paratici is expected to become the new Fiorentina director of football in the coming days. There are just a couple of small details to be sorted. Football League World have stated that Bolton Wanderers are now lining up a move for Tottenham Hotspur ace Jamie Donley, hoping to sign him on loan until the end of the season. The Daily Mail stated the club have recalled Donley and Ajayi from Doncaster. They are now looking for another loan move for him. L'Equipe in France are stating that Nice are considering a January move for Tottenham Hotspur defender Ben Davies. And lots of reports regarding Tottenham Hotspur centre-back Radu Drăgușin, including from the Daily Mail and Fabrizio Romano. There is interest from Juventus and other Italian clubs, including Fiorentina and Roma. And Football.London have stated that Matisse Tel and Takai could both leave Tottenham Hotspur Football Club in the January transfer window, as the club are open to loan moves for the duo. Matisse Tel is only 20. He has played in 11 Premier League games so far this campaign, starting only 3 of them, scoring 2 goals. Now, my thoughts on the stories in this episode. Let's start by talking about Conor Gallagher moving to Tottenham. I tell you what, this would really surprise me. A former Chelsea captain, he is Chelsea through and through. His family, from what I understand, are Chelsea through and through. Can I see him moving to Spurs? And can I see Spurs paying up to £200,000 a week? I think this one is very, very unlikely. Although, apparently Spurs were very close to signing Conor Gallagher under former boss Ange Postecoglou. So let's see what happens here. Can I see him returning to the Premier League? Yes. Can I see him coming back to London to join Spurs? No, I can't. But is he a good player? Absolutely. Would he improve this team? Absolutely. So, yeah, I can't see this one happening, sadly. Brennan Johnson will not be a part of Thomas Frank's squad against Brentford at the G-Tech Community Stadium this evening. 8 p.m. kickoff in the Premier League. A must-win again for Spurs. And by the way, Thomas Frank said the likes of Arsenal and Manchester City sometimes need to win ugly. So there is nothing wrong with winning ugly like we did against Crystal Palace. Now, Johnson, I'm not at all surprised that Johnson is not part of the plans. I was actually quite surprised a couple of days ago that Thomas Frank said, yes, he will be a part of our squad, to face Brentford, because if a club is willing to let a player like this go for £35 million to Palace, then Palace will probably be saying to Spurs, look, we want this deal done as soon as possible. We want his medical completed on the 1st of January, and we want him a part of our squad for the next game at the weekend. And Oliver Glasner, in his post-match presser, against Spurs, he was saying how much that they are really lacking quality in the final third. So he will want Brennan Johnson through the door. And that's exactly what's happening. He is meeting Oliver Glasner today rather than being a part of Thomas Frank's squad. So, when Brennan Johnson eventually leaves, of course, he will go down as a club legend because he scored that goal in our famous win 1-0 against Manchester United in Bilbao in May. So I, of course, will wish him all of the very best. But as I've always said, when you let players go out the door, you need to bring in quality players, and even better players than what you've actually offloaded. So I do hope that Spurs have a couple of aces up our sleeves. Jamie Donley back from Stoke. I completely agree with this one, because when players, certainly of this quality, Jamie Donley is an absolute baller, a really good, decent player, in my opinion. Had a really good loan spell at Leyton Orient last year. move to the Championship. Of course, Stoke, it didn't work out. Stoke, Spurs need to try very hard now and try and find him a Championship loan. I know there are many talks about Bolton. They are in League One. I would like to see him go in the Championship and do extremely well there, and he's very, very capable of that. So let's see what happens there. Donley and Ajayi, Spurs are looking for another loan move for him as well. Manor Solomon to Fiorentina, here we go. I fully expect Manor Solomon to go out the door on a permanent deal. I can't imagine that he will ever play in a Spurs shirt again. What other ones we got left? Thomas Frank saying that the club must become a better selling club. Completely agree. Last couple of years, certainly in recent history, under multiple different managers, we've always, really struggled to offload certain players, and Spurs need to become a lot better at that. Of course, our board and a lot of our executives have changed in the last 12 months. So many changes at the football club. So let's hope the Spurs will get better at that. But the most important thing is, that wasn't mentioned, we need to become a better buying club as well. And that is really important for me. We need to go out and we need to get better targets. We need to sign better players. And quite often, and certainly in recent history, when you think of the likes of Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, etc., when a player has gone out the door, and you could say this about Christian Eriksen, Moussa Dembele, you could go on and on and on when you think about the quality players that we've had. When we've brought in a player to replace these players, have they been at the same level? Nowhere near, in my opinion. So we need to become a much better buying club as well. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. Have a great week, keep smiling and come on you Spurs.